Hello guys, my name is Michael, and today we are going to talk about a new kind of signal. It is an event signal. It's kind of signal which can inform you about what happened in that moment when you do something, when something happened on your widget, and a callback function is called and so on. For example, let's take it by example this window. We have it here, and if you want to close it, we hit the X button here, and the X on the right corner, the top corner, and the window will close. And at this point, let's say the destroy signal was catched and the window it's closed. But what happens if you don't want to do that? Let's say your user does press that X on the corner, but he doesn't want to quit the window. I mean, it's not what he really wants to. Maybe he works something into your application and he forgot to save or something, and you need to inform it if you want to save before close, or maybe if you want to ask him, are you sure about that? Are you sure you want to quit that? And for that kind of things, you need those special signals, call it events. So I'm close the window now. We know that we need that signal. Okay, so we go back here to our API reference, and I will search again from GTK widget. And click on it, and now I go to signals. Yes, I wanted to tell you something. I go back here, back to window. When you are working with some widgets and you want to know which signals are available for you, of course you can use another type of signals which are not there, but we will talk about this later, because you need to know how to work with them, and when you should use and when you should not use those. And for that we will stay just to what is important for us. So let's see, let's for example GTK toggle button. Yes. Now, if I want to find out which kind of signals are available for this type of widget, I go in here, and then all the way up here, as you can see, is this part of where you have more options about everything finds here, and on the right corner you see signals. So when you want to find out which kind of GTK toggle, which kind of signals for your GTK toggle button available are, you just go here, you search for it, and then you click on signals, and as you can see, there is only one available, which is default one, runs first. We will talk about this also. And then when you click here, you see that the toggle signal has a function, a user function, which you need to provide it. It is a void function which takes two parameters. So this is a function prototype you have to create, and it says should be connected if you wish to perform action whenever the GTK state is changed. Okay, so this is how you find which kind of signals are available for your application or for a widget. And now being now back to our signals, for our window, we were working with the destroy signal, and now we are working with the delete event signal, which says here run less. We'll talk about this a little bit later also. And now I click on it, and says the delete event signal needs a function which is way different from our user function regular, because it's a void one. Here is a Boolean. Okay, this means needs to return something like true or false. And of course there are also 3 parameters instead of 2, like we used to with destroy one. Why? Well, because like I said, this type of signal, which is event one, also can help you to find out a lot of information about the signal, like for example the type of the signal and so on, coordinates, and we will talk about later, but only need to know that there is a third one. So when you create this function, this callback function, which is related to the delete event signal, has to be of Boolean, has to return it, and needs those 3 parameters. Okay, so that being said, says the delete event signal is emitted if a user requests that the top level window is closed. The default handler for this destroys the window, the default one handler. This means let's create our function. Okay, I will drop this part because I don't like it. I will just put it in one line. Okay, I will make a copy to satisfy my compiler about the function prototype. Now, the default one, the default handler for this signal destroys the window. This means the function default one returns false, which looks like this. Okay, I will copy here to make a new signal. I will use delete event like here. Yes, there is one important thing. We will talk about this just in a moment. Wait. Okay, we now do know that we have another function. I will call it user function 2 because we already have a user function. Okay, I'll run the program and says unused parameter. Oh yes, because I don't use them, so I need to silence my compiler to make it happy. So this means the first one is a widget, it's not an object. The second one is an event, it's not an object, and the third one is user data. So what I did here, like I already explained you in the last tutorial, I'm silencing these 3 parameters. I'm informing the compiler that they are there, but I'm not going to use them, so please ignore them. And then I return false, but let me put something here. For example, g print delete event occurred was catched. I think it sounds nicer, cleaner. Anyway, so I run the program now. I will hit the X button and says delete event was catched and goodbye. Now, as you can see, the window is closed, the program terminates, and the delete event was catched is printed, and then goodbye is printed too. But watch, we were calling the gsignal connect on a window with the destroy signal at first, and then we call at second the delete event. But you will see something now. Let me show you. True. I return true to the function, to the Boolean user function 2. When I click here, it says the delete event was catched and the destroy function is not there. Well, that happens because let's say like this, the delete event signal, being a special, like I said, has somehow priority and runs first before this one. So after you handle this signal, it will be possible to work with other signals. So this is the part of the signal which has high priority. So this means what are you returning here is this what your application does. Now we know that returning false closes the application, returning true blocks the application to not close. But if, for example, I drop this signal, okay, wait, I drop the signal I comment out if I run the program, which works fine, of course, and if I hit the X button, program close. So why do I need it? I mean, what's so special about it? Well, let's say, for example, what happens if maybe the user, like I said, he or she doesn't want to close the window. Maybe it was an accident when they hit that X button. So for this you can handle it in different ways. Like, for example, you can take the benefit of the event type. So I just remove the cast, the void cast, and I will say if event type, I'm sorry about that, event type, it is a GTK delete type, then delete event was catched, return false. This is just a way to show you how you can catch the X button and you can do something about it. So I will say if event type is a type of GTK delete, then close the window and the window destroys. And now, because I return it here false, I change to true. I will put here false. So of course when I run the program, because I return true when GTK delete happens, I cannot close the window. But you can inform your user by saying, for example, please use the quit button, for example. So when I run it, says please use the quit button. We can then fix it by, I know, let's say we GTK widget, we create a button, GTK button new with mnemonic, let's say quit, and then we'll create a signal for our button, and we'll just call GTK main quit without any kind of different function, because I want to show you something. Now I run the program. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to add it to our window. So GTK container add GTK cast. We need to cast our window like we already learned, to GTK container, put it inside our window, and then our button as a child. And now watch, I run the program and says, when I click here, says please use the quit button. Okay, so I use it and the program terminates, or not. Why did that happen? What did I made wrong? Well, let's see. We created a button, and then we created a button pointer, and then we pointed to our GTK button with mnemonic, and then we added this button to window. Our window is okay, and then we called the gsignal connect, and we connected destroy signal to our button, and then we call GTK main quit and null, and the program should work fine, but it's not. Why? Well, let's see. Let's take a look about this button. Which kind of signal do we can use, because something is wrong here, as you can see. Let's see. GTK button. We go here, like we learned, and then we check the signals, and the signal says has active, click it, enter, leave, press, release. Okay, so those 6 signals which are provided here, none of them is a type of destroy. So this means this button cannot use this destroy signal. It's wrong. So this means we need one of those. Which one should be? Well, let's see. We have active, if the button is active. No. We have click it. This could be okay, because it's about when we click the button. Enter and leave, we are not interested if on focusing or leaving out the pointer from our button, so it's not. Press it and release, we are not gonna catch signals. So let me show you something. If I go here to press it, I can use it. Says press it has been deprecated science version 2.8 and should not be used in newly written code. Please use the button press event signal. And button press event signal, if I click here, says that I need to create a function which is a Boolean. So this is an event. It's not a signal. So this means it's not what we need now. Okay, I go back. I close here. I go back to GTK button reference manual again, and I click again. I go to signals. This means I need a click it signal. Click it signal says void user function GTK button G pointer user emit when the button's okay has pressed and released. Wow. Okay, this one is what we need. So if now we know that is the right one, we'll use it. We'll run our program. Once the program runs, we'll see. We'll click here, say please use the quit button. I'll click here, it says goodbye. It doesn't. Why? Yeah, well, because we didn't work with destroy and delete event. We were working with our button. So for this means we can make a void button was clicked, and then because we know that the void function takes 3 parameters already, we already check it which kind of function prototype needs, and then here we'll cast these 2 because we don't use them now, and then GTK main quit, it will be called, and say g print the button, let's say the quit button was clicked, and then we'll say goodbye. Okay, now we can call this function to our button which we created here, and we'll say g callback the button was clicked, and use the data void video. Okay, because we have an object here. Okay, I'll run the program now. Okay, we have another problem because it's missing a parenthesis. It misses. Okay, I run the program now. The program works in the same like before. I will hit the X, says please use the quit button. I use the quit button, says the quit button was clicked. Goodbye. And that's it. That's it for today. I hope that helped you somehow to understand the way how these 2 destroy and delete event works. We also use the click it button, the click it signal from the button to call a function to close our window, in the way how we decide to handle our delete event which occurred, which means when the delete event occurred, we were accessing the event, the GTK event structure, and then we'll we were comparing the event type to GTK delete, and if that occurred, which means when the X was clicked, then we inform the user, please use the quit button, and then we return true, which means that the X button was shut down. I mean, it was somehow, that you understand, was deactivated, so that you cannot click on it. And at this point, the user had to call the to click the button, and once the clicker signal was catching on this button, we were let's say call it I mean, was called this callback function button was clicked, and once this button was called, a button was clicked, a function was called, the GTK main quit closed our application. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like it, please subscribe, please share with your friends and people you know, and until next time, see you guys.